me Stargrove! I want Stargrove!
Kevin.
With that music behind me, I just feel like Richard Roundtree strutting down the sidewalk.
In Shaft?
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
Either him or Richard Dawson.
Shut your mouth.
Okay.
Well, Richard Dawson is basically the white man's Richard Roundtree, isn't he?
I would think so, too. I
They're
was just thinking that.
They're basically the same character.
They are. They are. But we are neither of those individuals.
No, we are not.
We're two guys in terry cloth that are out to save the world.
Or at least the pop culture world, anyway.
And that's the only world that matters as far as I'm concerned. So
yeah. So you've tuned into Romper Ruminations, and you are?
Kevin Machino. And you are?
Leo Antonelli.
Well, it's great to be here.
It is. This is actually the first episode, really.
It's the first real episode.
First real episode.
In Studio 8.
Mm-hmm. And it's a good one, I think, to
It's a meaty one.
It's a meaty one.
Much like the subject itself.
Right.
Or the late subject itself.
The late, great.
No, I guess she wasn't meaty.
She wasn't meaty because of all the drugs took their toll.
Yeah.
Took the meat off her bones.
Yeah, but she still had a great rock star look. So.
Yeah. And there's a bit of Canadian content in this episode, which is always nice. Where this is all going to be about the Vanity 6 banknote.
Oh, that commemorative banknote.
Which was introduced in 2017 by the Bank of Canada. It was about a year after Vanity died.
Mm-hmm.
She died in 2016 at the tender age of 57.
Wow. That's not so tender.
No, it's I know, but it's not so old either. I'm 57.
Well, you're tender.
Tender. Love me tender, Vanity. Yeah, so the government decided to honor Vanity with the Vanity 6 banknote. And
what a banknote it is.
It's gorgeous. You can see it on our website, both sides of it. But I think the idea was for the government was going to replace the $5 bill and maybe even the toonie and the loonie because of inflation.
Rampant inflation.
And they thought, while we're doing that, let's honor the late Denise Matthews, a.k.a. Vanity.
This doesn't happen very much.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, we got that Norma Desmond $10 bill, right?
You mean Viola Desmond.
Oh,
Norma Desmond was in Sunset Boulevard.
Oops. Well, I guess it's the banknotes that got small.
I'm still big. It's the pictures that got small.
But this
is the Viola Desmond is vertical.
That was a vertical.
This is horizontal, which is I think the way Vanity would have wanted it.
I think that's appropriate.
I think she spent a lot of her life horizontal.
So we stuck with that format.
Yeah, it's appropriate for her to spend a lot of her death the same way.
Horizontally?
In that same position, yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. You don't want to go vertical with Vanity.
Agreed.
You want to go horizontal, I think.
There's only one way to go, and that's horizontally.
They tried this, and it didn't really, it was kind of a failed experiment.
It didn't take off, but looking at it, I can't figure out why, because it's spectacular.
It's purple, I mean, of course.
It's truly spectacular. It's colorful.
It's colorful.
Even by Canadian standards, Canadian money standards, this is one colorful bill.
Damn it, right.
There's a lot going on.
There is. But before we get into that, maybe we should have a little background on Vanity herself, who she was.
The pride of Niagara Falls.
Yeah, born in 1959.
Yeah.
Good year.
Great year. For Cadillacs, too.
And superstars.
And me.
Yeah, Vanity, Kevin Machino.
Yeah. Internet superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Or budding.
She was born in Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
And born as Denise Matthews, as I mentioned earlier before. I think she wanted to be an actress at first.
I think that was the big thing. And so her identity took some different turns.
It took a different trajectory, and that path kind of changed, I would say, in 1982.
Oh, well, it would take perhaps its most abrupt turn in 1982, the American Music Awards, right?
Mhm.
January.
And
Who should she meet?
well, her date was
Yes, let's back up.
who took her to the awards?
I think it was Rick James.
Mr. Rick James, who
Bitch. Sorry.
also had a Canadian connection, right? Because
Yeah.
he's from
yeah.
Buffalo originally. Right?
Yeah, but he came up here a lot to dodge the draft.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I think he ended up in a band with Neil Young for a little while in Toronto.
Maybe the Minor Birds or
Yeah,
something like
that sounds familiar.
It's
So he thought, let's take Vanity to the AMAs.
yeah. Well, what a mistake that was.
Yeah, because she arrived with Rick James, but she left with
Prince?
Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Full name? Yeah. So that was one of those moments in history where, one moment changes everything.
Well, talk about a trade up.
Is it a trade up, or is it did it send her on a wayward path?
Was it the kiss of death? More on that later.
Mm-hmm. But I think, we hated to see what happened to Vanity later on in her life. And we love Prince, but we kind of blamed him a little bit. He didn't treat her very well.
Mm.
And I almost
A lot
wish,
of control.
Yeah.
Controlling.
yeah, I almost wish as a 15-year-old boy I had gone back in time to the AMAs
Yeah.
and said, come with me if you want to live.
Oh, boy.
And then taken her.
Do you think that might have worked out?
Yeah, she would have.
Come with me if you want a nice, cushy suburban life.
Quiet suburban life.
Merchandising,
Mm-hmm. Where your
various
kidneys would be operating properly.
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
her kidneys would be okay, although she'd still be ingesting a lot of alcohol, so it's
Yeah.
questionable.
So she goes home with Prince. And Prince, this is around the same time as he's getting ready for Purple Rain, right?
Yeah. So well, actually, at those AMAs,
Mhm.
wasn't that where Prince sort of christened her with her new name? I mean,
That's right.
up to that point, she was either Denise Matthews or Dee Dee Winters.
and some credits, yeah.
But this was really pivotal because he said,
Thou shalt be known as Vanity from
Yeah.
here on in.
yeah. And I guess it did stick
Yeah,
for
and I
quite
think
a while.
appropriate for her.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
she liked the name, I think.
Oh, she took on the
persona, yeah.
the lifestyle, the everything.
And he created this, I guess, girl group called Vanity 6,
Right.
where Vanity was front and center. And did he want, what's the connection to Purple Rain there? Did he want her to be...
I'm convinced that he wanted her in that female lead that was.
You mean the
eventually-
Apollonia role?
Yeah.
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 Wow.
So,
That would have been a different movie.
wow.
A better movie, I think.
I think history would have been changed.
Yeah.
I think the world would have been changed.
Well, there's the scene, isn't there a scene with Apollonia swimming or something? Or
Oh yeah, the skinny dip scene in the frigid waters of Lake Titicaca.
No, is that in Bolivia? I think
It's not in
no,
Minneapolis.
unless unless he renamed that lake.
Oh well, maybe it was a lake that sounded like that.
Yeah.
It was something different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So he he creates this group, Vanity 6, and the weird thing about Vanity 6, there are three women in Vanity 6,
Yes.
and I don't understand why it was called Vanity 6 when there were 3 members. Can you shed some light on that?
I read
Mhm.
something,
Okay,
and I don't know how much stock we can put in this, but
it doesn't really matter.
it's quite a simple equation. 3 women equals 6 breasts.
Oh my goodness, that's the wouldn't surprise me with Prince.
Right.
Okay, well that makes sense in a
There's
way.
always sexy connotations
Yeah.
going on with
Yes, sex was pretty
anyone
much front and center.
he touched.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Thanks.
But for me, I don't know, is there much memorable music with the Vanity
No. I
Six?
think there was just the one song,
Nasty Girl?
Nasty Girl,
Yeah.
or something. Because I think that Vanity wasn't. I don't think she ever set out to be a singer, a recording star.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was because of Prince. I think she was the accidental pop star,
Yeah.
or musician.
Yeah, and Vanity Six didn't make too many albums, I think, just a
No,
couple. And then Apollonia kind of took over, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Apollonia 6, Vanity 6. So
Yeah.
I think Apollonia was just the last minute fill in for Vanity after
Poor man's Vanity.
if you will.
Yes, I will. I will. Yeah, but for me, I look at Vanity the same way I look at Elvis. You know, with Elvis, it wasn't about the music; it was about the movies.
It was the movies.
Yeah, he made such great movies, and so did she. And
She made some great movies. Well, she sort of ran the full gamut of movies.
Yeah.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
From the blockbuster to the straight to video.
Yeah.
And we took it upon ourselves to watch every single Vanity movie ever made.
Well,
and
that was your gig.
Yeah, we accomplished this goal.
You gave it a name.
It was a vanity project. And
it still is.
Yeah, just this year we fulfilled that goal, and I'm pretty proud of that because I think more people have walked on the moon than have seen every single Vanity movie. So we can be proud of that, I think.
I'm proud.
I think there's only 2 people in the whole world, and they're here in Studio 8 today.
I'm taking that to the grave, man.
Yeah, that's, they can't take that away from you. So, as you said, the movies run the gamut. They're all spectacular, but
I think we should start at the beginning if we're going to list the movies.
Let's go. Let's now this was before the AMAs in 1980.
Yeah.
Her first movie was something called Klondike Fever, which is one of those Canadian movies, tax shelter movies, I guess.
Oh.
Although it did have Rod Steiger in it.
Rod Steiger.
Set in,
they needed some talent.
Yeah. The Klondike of the, gold rush. It was based on the writings of Jack London.
No, I think it was based on the writings of Jack Lemmon.
Or Julie London.
Oh, okay. One of those three.
One
anyway.
of those 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's listed as an uncredited background dancer.
Well, I think that's all true.
Yeah.
Because didn't we go over that movie with a fine-tooth comb?
We did. We went frame by
an
frame.
electron microscope.
Frame by frame. And I think we eventually spotted what we thought was Vanity in some kind of a can outfit.
It was basically a silhouette.
Yeah.
And so
I think it was when she turned around and kind of lifted her dress up.
Yep.
And then that's when we knew.
Yeah.
That's Vanity.
Yeah. We know her posture.
Yeah. Well, we know her posterior. And that's a good way of starting a career, though, as,
Dip your toe in the water.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way you want to start your
that was it.
film career, isn't it?
I do. I want to be an uncredited background dancer.
There's still time.
It's a little late. But,
Well, no. So after that...
but I don't think I'll be in Klondike Annie.
No, Klondike Fever.
Oh, sorry.
The next movie was a horror movie by the name of Terror Train.
Oh, Terror Train.
Also a Canadian movie. But this one featured...
well, it had a big name.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's right. The original Scream Queen.
I think so.
This is before...
Oh, Prom Night?
Oh, you brought it up. I know you've got a story about Prom Night.
My old high school that I went to.
Yeah.
When I returned there in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was 1979 or something like that, and unbeknownst to me, there was a movie shoot going on, and this cute girl comes walking down the hall, and I smile at her, and she scowled at me.
She scowled.
Yeah.
And that was...
Jamie Lee Curtis.
She
None
seems-
other than.
She seems so nice in her public persona.
I think it was just a natural reaction to a creepy guy.
What did you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, man.
I was just relying on my animal magnetism.
Thank God you never met Vanity and she gave you that reaction. That
I just would have snuffed
heartbreaking.
it. I would have snuffed it a long time ago. If that's the deal.
Yeah, so does she die? I think she dies.
She probably did. She died in so many movies.
She died a lot in her movies, yeah.
Terrible.
After that, we've got still in 1980, big year for her.
Yeah.
Tanya's Island.
Oh, well, now that really gave us the true Vanity. And not just little bits of it.
A lot of vanity.
Bits of her.
Yeah, a lot of vanity in that movie.
Yeah.
She played Tanya.
Yeah.
Tanya.
Oddly enough.
Yeah.
Coincidentally,
Yeah.
I think that movie was about nudity set in a lush tropical location.
I was about to go into, the plot description of this movie, but I don't even think there is one. I mean, it's just so...
I think the plot is nudity.
Yeah.
And an amorous ape.
An ape man.
Yeah.
Who's sort of possessive of vanity. And
and I think that she responds to
it. When they're on the island.
Yeah.
But then they end up back...
slow burn.
Back in the city all of a sudden.
Oh, well, now that's the funny thing about this movie is that there's a big chunk taken out of it, like half an hour's worth or something. I don't know if it was just my copy.
They just ran out of money, I think.
Maybe. Or they ran out of plot.
Right. And so it is a bit difficult to follow.
Yeah, but we watched it.
We watched it.
And I think we enjoyed it.
We did. Immensely.
It was good.
I remember a lot of mangoes being thrown at Vanity.
I think I brought mangoes to that movie.
I think so. Or maybe it was coconuts. I can't remember.
But it was appropriate, whatever it was.
So then she waited 5 more years for her, 5 long years for her next movie. But it was...
she got to be choosy after Tanya's Island.
Yeah. But the next one was one of the best, I think. One of your favorites, anyway.
Oh.
Talking about The Last Dragon.
Oh, The Last Dragon.
Also known as Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. Wow. Yeah, that Barry Gordy, Mr. Motown.
Fantastic movie.
Oh, it's got a lot of... it's appropriate that Vanity's in this movie, I think.
Well, I think in order to be in that movie, you had to have a one-word name.
That's right. Because who was the...
Vanity, Tamac.
What did you say? Tamac.
Don't you know Tamac?
Whatever happened to Tamac?
I don't know, but in there alongside Madonna and Feist.
Wow, Madonna's in that.
Yep. Topol.
The smoker's tooth polish?
No.
Oh, right. Fiddler on the Roof. Okay, got it.
Charo,
yeah.
Liberace.
Yeah. Wow, what an all-star cast.
And special guest star, Trini Lopez.
Oh, she was the only 2-word exception.
No, I just threw that in.
Oh, you just like saying that?
Yeah.
No, but seriously, this was what was billed as a martial arts musical.
Right, which is an entirely new genre, I think.
Can you have a genre if there's only one movie in the genre?
We'll find out.
Has there been another martial arts musical?
No.
I don't think so.
No. I think they blazed a trail.
Yeah.
They blazed a trail, and then the trail got grown over very quickly.
Yeah. So. And it's a great movie. I mean...
it is a great movie.
Great martial arts. Great singing.
Great singing.
You got one of the Cosby kids in there.
Yep. Who else? Oh, and a very young William H. Macy in an outstanding 8-ball jacket.
That was a great jacket.
Come on.
That was probably one of his first film roles.
And his first 8-ball jacket.
I don't know about that, but it certainly featured prominently in the movie.
Yep.
So the next one is one of my favorites, Never Too Young to Die.
Oh, are we talking about 1986 or so?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Get me Stargrove! I want Stargrove!
Well, there's only one performer in the whole universe that could pull off that line.
Yeah, that's Gene Simmons as the gender-fluid supervillain, Velvet Von Ragnar, who later in the movie sings a great song called It Takes a Man Like Me to Be a Woman Like Me.
There's a lot of talent in that movie.
Yeah, we got in the main role as
Lance Stargrove.
Lance Stargrove. What a great name.
Gymnast Lance Stargrove.
That's right.
John Stamos.
I forgot he was a gymnast.
Fantastic.
This movie would pair well with Jim Cata, with Kurt Thomas.
Yeah.
That'd be a good double feature.
Because it's a gymnastic musical.
Yeah, that's right. Another genre.
Yeah. And Gene Simmons, of course.
Gene Simmons.
Right.
And we talked earlier about a James Bond.
Oh, the James Bond tie-in was one-time James Bond
that's right.
actor.
George Lazenby
Yeah.
plays Stargrove's father,
Right.
Stargrove Senior, who
Right.
is a big. He's a spy, but
A closet spy.
Closet spy.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't
yeah.
think Stamos knows about it, and he's
He
killed.
didn't have the stamina.
No. He's killed by Gene Simmons.
Oh, his father is. Yeah.
Yeah.
George.
And just as he's performing,
Like a real big flip on the trampoline.
yeah, and he knows something is amiss.
Yeah.
He falls down, I think.
Yeah, yeah. He
Into the netting.
blows it.
Yeah.
He sort of hurts himself a little bit because it's this cosmic thing that happened.
Yeah, so he finds out that his dad is dead, and that he is a spy, and he's inherited this farm with all these super gadgets in it. And who, lo and behold,
Not just gadgets.
but Vanity, Gidget,
Gadget grows
the
up.
original Gidget.
As Denja Deering?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
who was also a spy.
Well, she's a kick-ass spy.
Yeah, and they're going to get their revenge on Gene Simmons. He has to avenge his father's death. It's like Hamlet. It's based a lot of similarity.
It's like a Greek tragedy?
Yeah.
No. It is. It's more like Hamlet,
So that was that. And in the same year,
but not Harry Hamlet.
not Harry Hamlet.
No.
Um,
And by the way, that might have been Vanity's zenith.
yeah,
That
I think
movie.
so.
I think she just, at her absolute rock and roll peak.
Yeah.
And the teased hair between her and John Stamos
Let's not forget Gene Simmons.
and Gene Simmons. I think I'd be hard pressed to pick a winner. So
So, yeah, she was on a roll, and then after that, she did 52 Pickup,
that's a little known movie, but she still
but directed by a big time director, John Frankenheimer, who directed
I think that's Frankenheimer. But yeah. Great movie. Great director.
also directed one of your favorite movies.
Grand Prix.
Yeah.
My gosh. I think that's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, so she was in good hands, and also starring Roy Scheider
And Anne Margaret.
and Margaret. There's your Elvis connection.
Yeah. And did that have the poor man's Gary Busey in it?
No, I think that was later on.
Oh, later. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Although it may have had a knockoff of the poor man's Gary Busey
Wow.
in it.
Just blew my mind.
If you get into, degrees of separation and that sort of thing.
Yeah. And then 1987 Deadly Illusion. I don't remember much about that.
No, that
movie.
was sort of forgettable. I
Yeah.
think that was a step back for her.
Yeah. But then 1988, she bounces back big time.
Big time.
Action Jackson.
Action Jackson. Come on.
Co-starring with the late, great Carl Weathers, who's sort of like a disgraced cop or something, or a demoted cop.
Yeah, demoted cop.
Yeah.
And demoted because of baddie Craig T. Nelson.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
In the
I forgot
movie.
he's in that.
And the baddie has a wife, and it's Sharon Stone.
Right.
Yeah.
This is before Basic Instinct.
There's really some star power in this movie.
Oh, gosh.
All it's missing is Harry Giardino.
Does she die in that one? Or did she survive?
No. She kicks her heroin habit
Oh, that's right. Wow.
in about 5 minutes flat,
Well,
which sort of strains credibility. But anyway, but it's a great movie,
It is.
and she's
It's nice when Vanity survives.
yeah. She had a great part in that.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of Vanity, and she got to stretch her singing chops a little bit
Yeah.
in the movie as well.
I think that there's a scene, there's a screenshot of that on the Vanity 6 bill, I believe.
I think there is.
Yeah.
Because she's sort of a torch singer,
Yeah.
but she's done that before.
So now
It's
we're
hard
into
to
the
say.
90s, 1991 Neon City, where the girls are pretty. It was kind of like a post-apocalyptic kind of Mad Max.
Yeah. It's
Sci-fi.
the poor man's Mad Max, I think.
But Lyle Alzado is in it, who's the poor man's Mel Gibson, I think.
Yeah. I've often said that.
Yeah, and the guy who played Les Nessman on WKRP is in it.
Yeah. Sort of a funny placing there, funny casting, because I seem to recall that during the movie we wanted Les Nessman And more
vanity. Yeah,
So,
that's right. Yeah, and then
but anyway,
then the movies start to really.
there was a turn.
Yeah, there's South Beach with, I think that has the.
That had the poor man's Gary
Yeah.
Busey?
Yeah, and it also spawned a best-selling diet as well. Is there a connection? I don't know.
Yeah, but Vandy wasn't interested in dieting in those days, so it's
No, she had the sort of the natural drug diet kind of.
yeah.
Where she,
But maybe by then the natural drug diet wasn't working anymore, or maybe she was off the drugs.
yeah,
Because she was having some health problems,
yeah.
right?
So after that, there's Da Vinci's War, where she played Lupe.
Oh,
Kind of
Lupe.
a wholesome character, which was
Wholesome.
where she kind of went in that direction a little
Yeah, very virtuous, very
Yeah.
one man woman
bit. Mm-hmm.
kind of girl.
She had it
dressing sensibly.
Yeah, she was the love interest of my favorite Travolta, I think Joey Travolta. he
the
was
only Travolta
yeah,
worth mentioning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's I think he's an ex-cop who has to avenge his
What, his brother?
sister.
Oh, sorry.
Or the Gene Simmons thing.
I don't
Maybe
know.
that's why I'm having trouble with that.
I guess I'm not watching these movies closely
Oh
enough.
well, you know.
When there's no nudity,
No, exactly. And at that point
I
in her life,
tend to drift.
yeah. And then even though it was filmed in 1993, but didn't come out till 1997, always a good sign. Was Kiss of Death.
Oh, well, speaking of nudity.
Yeah, her final, but it was not vanity nudity.
No.
We're talking.
I think she was the only one in the movie who wasn't nude.
That's right.
So-
They had. It was who was it again?
Oh, Daniel McVicker.
Well, he wasn't.
So,
he
anyway.
was- but
She trumped him in the, as far as billing goes.
yeah,
She got top billing.
but his the main female character is played by
Christy Harris or something?
who was topless a lot.
Everyone was topless.
Every so often they had to, when the plot started getting a little out of control,
I think about every 3 minutes or so.
they had to recalibrate, get it a nude scene.
There was nudity. And
there
I
was-
think that was done on purpose
Mhm.
because the plot line was
Plot
so
was-
complex and so fast moving that they wanted to make sure that the viewers were riveted.
Right.
I mean, at all times, So,
And there was an Al Capone connection.
oh my gosh, the climactic ending will not
Oh.
disappoint, and that's
No.
all I'm going to say
No.
about that.
Yeah, and she plays kind of again. She's the woman scorned in this movie.
But she's almost matronly in
Yeah,
this movie.
but like
And,
10 years previous, she would have been playing the Christy.
the nude role.
Yeah, the nude role, as they say. Yeah, but by this point in her life, though, she is done with that whole scene, and
She is.
because she's found Jesus.
Yeah. And
yeah.
I think shortly after she renounced her vanity persona.
Yeah, went back to her original name. I think became
Yeah.
like a preacher. I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's all very interesting.
Yeah,
And maybe not entirely beneficial either,
no.
because don't you think that she did much better on a steady diet of sex and drugs and rock and roll?
Oh, so you're saying the drugs didn't kill her? It was
It was the wholesomeness, or I don't know, the goodness.
the lack of drugs. In other
Yeah.
words. Wow,
The
that's
lack
an
of
interesting,
fun.
Interesting theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The withdrawing of her original lifestyle.
Right.
She got used to that.
Yeah.
Body got used
That's
to it.
right.
So,
And
it's just my theory.
It rejected it. It was almost like rejecting an organ. It rejected
Tissue
this-
rejection.
Yeah, it's like
It's
I
yeah.
reject this holy
Yeah.
preaching
Yeah.
business.
Yeah. I honestly think so.
Well, that makes sense to me.
But it's sad. It's sad. But
It is.
But
sad.
you know what? As they say, we'll always have the movies.
Exactly. They can't take that away from us.
They can't. They can't.
We're going to start another project where we're going to start it into our TV work, but that's another.
Wow.
That's a big.
That's a big.
Thank God for
undertaking.
YouTube on that one, because
Yeah,
there's no DVDs
yeah.
of that baby.
Yeah. That Miami Vice episode with the sped up soundtrack
that was great, because,
very
you know,
entertaining.
Don Johnson's voice is already kind of sped up as it is.
Yeah, but he sounded like a chipmunk
Yeah.
there.
It
so
wasn't
was
Melanie
fun.
Griffith in that, the future Mrs. Don Johnson.
She's got a pretty high voice too.
Yeah. But I think Vanity dies in that episode, doesn't she?
She always dies.
Oh, God.
She always dies. But
So she died in real life in 2016.
That's the Vanity movie
Yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
but you know, like I say, Purple Rain would have been just spectac with
Oh.
her in it. And
Yeah.
I guess we can't go back, but we can dream.
We can. can imagine. Yeah, so the Bank of Canada, like a very conservative institution, mind you, decides they're going to commemorate the life of Vanity with this Vanity 6 bill. And again, it's on our website if you want to look at it. We can sort of look at it together, and you can't really see that. Your eyes are so bad.
Mine are bad, but I can feel it.
You can feel Vanity's sensuality, I
Her
think.
presence, it just oozes out of that specially coated paper.
That's right. And she's kind of licking her lips in the main photo on the front.
Yeah.
And there's her singing in Action Jackson, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's there a little poster of Never Too Young to Die.
It's all perfect.
A lot of sixes on it, Vanity 6 right on it. And you turn it over and you've got beautiful Niagara Falls.
Fantastic.
Which has never been featured on a bill before, which is a high time, Niagara Falls, Ontario.
Sure.
And you've got...
And she's one of the wonders of the world as well.
Yes, the natural wonders.
Yeah.
And then you've got The Last Dragon, of course. And then right in the corner, you've got the love triangle, Rick James, Vanity, and Prince.
The Holy Trilogy.
Or the Holy Trinity.
Or Trinity.
Yeah.
Or Trilogy.
Trilogy. That's a new word. I like that.
Well, it's like trilogy and energy and Tripoli all combined, right?
Yeah.
So 3 cheers for that.
Yeah. They tried to make it work, but it didn't really go over well, and people didn't know what to make of it.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been great. Could you imagine? It's like, hey, do you got a 6? I need a 6 for this, Hand me a 6.
Gosh. Yeah. Yeah. It's a total hedge against inflation.
Yeah.
It's 20% more than a $5 bill.
Because let's say you're buying a pizza slice.
Oh, and it's more than you expect.
Yeah, it's 5 something, and you're digging into your pocket for change. And
come on, but wait a minute,
throw down a 6.
I got a 6.
I got a 6.
I got this taken care of.
Yeah, but they are still legal tender if you can. Once in a while, you come across one.
I got a whole stack of them.
Yeah,
it's a small stack, but it's a first printing, never been in circulation stack of Vanity 6s. And I take my life into my hands when I say this.
Yeah, well, don't give out your address.
No, I won't.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But if any viewers want my address, I'll still give it out.
Yeah, so it was, like I said, it was kind of a... They tried some test markets. I think Newfoundland was a big one.
Well, I think that was a big mistake.
Yeah, I mean, I love Newfoundland, but it's not exactly vanity country. And some people liked it though, but some people didn't care for it. I think we've got a clip of some Newfoundlanders, reaction to the bill. So why don't we play that right now?
Let's do it.
Oh, it's not too bad. I think it's pretty good. I don't like it. The symbolism is grand, but it's just not eye-catching.
I like it. I think it's nice.
Yeah, so I think you're right. They would have been better off some maybe more cosmopolitan centers, or
I think so.
Or at least more sinful areas.
More vanity-friendly centers, but it's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
It's still good. We've got the bill.
We've got the movies.
It's not all bad.
No, I mean...
we hold on to what we hold on to.
Wow, very profound.
Thanks.
Yeah. And that, the pictures in this Vanity, like the hair and everything is just of its time,
It's a period piece.
You look at
as they say.
Look at Prince, and I don't know who has more mascara on.
Oh, well.
In this picture.
Well,
Prince or Vanity?
Let's throw in Sheila E.
Oh, Sheila E., another Prince protege.
And maybe the closest thing in the mid-'80s that you could get to Vanity.
Yeah, without being Vanity. Yeah, but she was quite a talented
She was
musician.
a bona fide musician, I think. Did you ever see her wearing those crazy high-heeled boots that came up to her thighs? And while playing stand-up drums?
Yeah.
Kicking the cymbals?
Yeah. Yeah,
and everything. It was a great show. Great show. Fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, the makeup, the clothing, the mascara, it's astounding. It's like, hey folks, Maybelline just called. They're running out of mascara.
Oh, well, the jerk store just called and they're running out of you.
I guess that's true. What else can we say about Vanity?
I don't know. I think the movies speak for themselves. We're going to put some trailers up on the website.
Okay.
And I would recommend that you check those out and get into buy some of these DVDs and these Blu-rays and
well, you still can.
While you still can, yeah. And get to know Vanity as we know her and love her. And hopefully the young people will get into it because it's sad to say they don't teach this stuff in schools.
Do you think that they should make a commemorative bill for Luba?
Whoa, wow.
Canada's other national treasure?
Yeah, how would that work? With the hot air balloons maybe on them?
The hot air balloons.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the denomination would be.
Well, maybe like the balloons, it could fluctuate.
It could float up or down?
Yeah,
like
depending
that.
on inflation.
Yeah. Maybe with a starting point of 99.
Oh, because of
99 Luftballons.
Nina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And Nina almost sounds like Luba.
Yeah, but who had the hairier armpits? That's what I bet you Luba probably kept it pretty clean down there.
Probably.
Yeah.
But she was great.
Yeah, she was.
And continues to be a Canadian staple.
That's
right. Living in Canada.
And a survivor.
Like Vandy, I think, bolted to Hollywood first chance she could get.
Yeah.
Or somewhere where there were swimming pools and movie stars and, promises of greatness.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it.
Okay. Okay. That was meaty.
That was meaty. It was a good start, I think, to one of the nuggets we talked about in the intro episode.
Yeah,
that's a good nugget.
It's a purple nugget.
Yeah, not many people probably even know that such a bill even exists.
Keep your eye peeled.
Keep your eyes peeled.
And if you get one, I say hold on to it. I think you would agree.
Yeah, it's sad though that it never took off. I'd rather have Vanity in my pocket than Wilfrid Laurier. But we're stuck with Laurie, right? Okay. Well, on that note,
love it.
On that banknote, we should again, thank Sean Bokenkamp for coming up with the theme music.
Yeah, of which there will be more.
Yeah,
because we're cueing the outro as we speak.
Oh my goodness, that is a good segue.
So, hold on to your socks.
Yeah, and we'll see you next time on Romper Ruminations.
And thank you.
Yeah. So bye for now.
Good night.